I'm starting the stream, so just wait for it to load.
Sure. Beautiful. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October 14th Anime Twin Cities board meeting. It is 7 p.m. and I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. If you are online, please fill out the attendance form and put a greeting in the chat so that we can track that you're here. And the agenda is available on our website if you would like to follow along. The first agenda item we have is to recap off-cycle board actions and votes. And as far as I can recall, we did not do anything. We did a lot of things, but none of them were specifically board related. Then planned discussions from scheduling and visiting parties / ATC partners. We did not have any of those either. So then we will go into the next section and start with the update from finance. So go ahead, Jeanette.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me with the background music or what's going on in the background. So our current balances in our business checking account is $235,156.07. And then our education fund savings account, we have $3,098.52. In our community fund, we currently have $14,507.99. And that's the end of the financial report. Is there any other questions or anything you need from me?
I don't think so.
All right. Thank you.
So then we, well, and our main topic this evening is budgets. So we're going over quite a few budgets today. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Anime Detour budget since it is the most complicated one. JC, I have both of your budgets here, so I'm going to share this window. But I don't know, do you want to go over the 2025 one or do you want to go over the 2026 one? Just let me know what tab you want me to click
on. I mean, the 2026 one I think is the only one we really need to go over. The 2025 one is much more for comparison, and I mean, I don't think we typically go through like every department since that's, you know, what we do with our departments afterwards. I think the highlights I did try to put out in my email to the board yesterday, but I will hit those again. And that is that the chair team, did get our budget requests from every department. I was quite happy with how it turned out. We were a little worried we were going to have to say no to a lot more things than we did. Turns out we came in under budget on quite a few things last year. We were able to identify a few easy cuts that really shouldn't cause any pain. And so we were able to say yes to most things. So if you're a department head and listening into this, you're probably getting most of what you wanted. And if you're not, we have a good explanation of why we think you can get what you want a different way than spending the money you asked for. But the big thing for, I think, board purposes is kind of the big numbers. So our total proposed budget for this year is $490,656.97. That's about $4,000 more than last year, which is not a whole lot when you're talking about these kind of numbers, less than 1% increase to the total. We actually spent about $27,000 less than the approved budget last year. A little bit of that was, things like spending on the Sheraton that we didn't wind up having to do. But still, I think we're generally a pretty responsible bunch. So I think that the proposed budget this year is a very safe number. We did wind up making our total income was $502,000 and change last year. So we're still above that, or we're still our budget is still under that. So if we did exactly the same as last year, we would be fine. We did wind up on the net plus side last year, and I think there is good reason to believe that we will have a modest uptick in attendance this year. I think everything points to that. We had very good returns from our attendees last year, so things are stable and good. I don't know why we wouldn't do a little better. So I think that is the big crux of it. Obviously, if there are specific questions, we can go into the details more than that. But unless there are, I don't intend to present any more detailed than that.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about this before we vote on it?
I think I guess I was just wondering for some of the ones where the requested budget's like a fair bit higher than what was finally approved for like cosplay and facilities, why like the amount is so different.
Yeah, so those are generally things that we've shifted an expense from one department to another. So I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but I know, things like we had the chairs that go in the dealer's room in the facilities budget. I think on the idea that, sort of facilities works with the hotel. As it turns out, though, the exhibit hall is not actually the hotel, it's the parking garage. So that expense is really very particular to exhibit hall. So we went, well, that's really an exhibit hall expense. We're going to take it out of facilities, put it there. So that was just one example. There were a few things like that we just sort of said, this makes more sense here than there.
Anyone else? All right. So then, yeah, I don't see any issues with this. It's less than we made last year, so we should be good to stay in the black. So all in favor of approving the anime detour budget of $490,656.97. Okay.
I guess I also seconded. We need to do that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I was all excited we did the digital thing. We did it so well. Okay. Beautiful. All right. So then with that, the anime detour budget is approved for 2026. Yay. JC, did you have any other updates you wanted to give today, or are you good?
No, I sure didn't. And I'm at the tail end of being pretty sick and extremely busy at work. So I will happily stop talking now.
All right. So the next up, I have 3 action items under charities, and I did write them thinking that Jacob wasn't going to make it tonight, but he is here. Did you want to touch on these, or would you like me to do it since I wrote them?
I'll let you go ahead and go over them, and if there's any questions, I'll help out. Apologies, I didn't have a chance to brief myself fully.
That's okay. So just the first thing we wanted to note is the last month before the year end closed, we did finish doing all of the charitable giving we had talked about a couple months ago. We just actually, got the checks sent out or processed electronically. Then the next thing that's coming up on November 15th is the Mondale Gala with JASM, the Japanese American Society of Minnesota. We will be having 2 representatives going to that, and we are currently still figuring out who's going exactly, but we should know soon. Then the last item I had is we did get an email from the Minneapolis College of Art and Design, basically thanking us for the donation. And they are telling us that they're having an art sale on November 20th. So we wanted to decide, is this something that we should share on our social media to see if, just to share it. Any thoughts?
I would say so. I mean, it would make sense to share it. I mean, if they're kind enough to send us over that heads up, I mean, I don't see a reason why we shouldn't, unless anyone else can think of a reason not to.
No, I agree.
And then additionally, they did send us like 2 tickets, basically, if we want to represent ourselves at that. I think it's probably somewhat similar to the Mondale Gala, probably not exactly the same, but we just got this email a couple days ago. So do we think that's something we'd want to try and send representatives to? And does anyone have availability on the 20th?
I might. I'm not sure. I will have to check my calendar and circle back with you. It all depends on a few things.
On the 20th?
Mhm.
Nope, because I will be heading out to
Oh,
table.
yes. I will
So-
also be in that car or a similar one.
Otherwise, I would.
But yes, so hopefully we'll find someone that can go and figure that out. Okay, then that is all that we have for charities. Jacob, did you want to add anything or are you good?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you very much.
Then next up is communications. Michaela is sick, but she did message me and let me know she didn't really have any updates. Then we've got our special events budget. Now Allie said she was running a few minutes late, but is she?
I'm pretty sure I
Oh
saw
yeah,
the
you're here.
one.
Okay, wonderful. I have you guys minimized because I have so many tabs open and I'm like, is she in here?
I'm here. I'm just trying to get my camera started up.
Yes, beautiful.
I don't
Okay,
have my dynamic background on. Sorry about the green screen.
that's okay.
Fix that.
You've got red hair, so it's no one
That's
cares.
true.
Your red hair is
It's a
awesome.
good contrast with the green screen.
Okay,
There we go. There's a background.
so all right. So now I've got your special events budget pulled up here. Well, and do you want to do budget first and then other stuff or whatever you want?
Let's do fun stuff then budget stuff.
Okay.
So fun stuff. We had a couple of events since the last time we had a meeting. So we did. Sorry, I'm actually getting into here. So we had a table at ToshoCon, which sounded like it went super well. So that's awesome. Also had a table at the awesome jigsaw puzzle competition. I heard that went really well too. We also had Otaku Fest. I got to actually be at that one, and that one went really well too. People had a great time at that event. So the organizer would like to do something like that with us again. Probably in April is what we were talking about. So shortly after Detour, which means that we can publicize it at Detour and get hopefully an even bigger turnout this time. Also make sure that we're not scheduling it on the same weekend as some other convention. I think that was our biggest problem there. And then we also had a team that went out to Anime Fargo. I believe that was Hope and Buttons. Thank you for that. That was awesome. And then coming up, we will have teams at Twin Cities Con and Colossal Con. We will unfortunately not have a table at NebraskaCon this year because we have too many people who are on their staff. So I think that's all the fun stuff.
Yeah, so at the beginning when I said we did a lot of stuff, that's what I was talking about. I just didn't have the list. It's been busy.
It has been very busy. We've been doing lots of stuff. And it was really great to see for Otaku Fest. We did discount admission for the cover charge if you had your Detour badge from last year or proof of registration. Saw a lot of people actually just bring in their badges, which was really cool. I liked seeing that. So yeah, that's the fun stuff. So I guess now we do the budget stuff.
Yes. So we've got the budget up on the screen. I don't know if you want me to like switch back and forth between 2026 and 2025 just so we can compare, or if you just want to talk about it.
We can just talk about it. If we need to switch back and forth, we can do that. Otherwise, we'll just kind of roll with what's on here. It's very similar in a lot of ways to last year's budget. Instead of having the price for a tent up there on the capital expenses, we have like some of the satellite event equipment because we're starting to be able to do 2 events in one weekend again and starting to do some more outdoor events. So that's going to be some things to help facilitate that. Make sure that we have two kits for setup plus enough of a kit for actually doing the full outdoor setup instead of just the tent and, some borrowed weights. We'll get our own weights. We'll get some sidewalls for the tent so that when we're doing a 2-day event like Twin Cities Pride, we can close up the tent properly at night, which will hopefully help protect against any future weather events. Stuff like that. So that's kind of the capital expenses there. Operational expenses, I would like to do at least some limited reimbursement of parking and fuel for people traveling to and from some of these events, just to make it a little easier on people so that they're not having to spend a bunch of their own money doing these things. It's not going to be a thing where like we've got 6 people going to this event, everyone getting your own car, and we'll pay for 6 cars worth of gas and 6 cars worth of parking. But it'll be things like we've got 6 people going, let's get 3 and 3 into these cars and we'll cover gas and parking for these. Meals, I added a little bit onto that just because cost of food going up a little bit, cost of restaurants going up a little bit. So let's add a little into the budget for that. A little bit for tolls if we're able to get to ACEN or anything else down in Chicago. Want to be able to reimburse people for going through all those toll booths. Get back into the artist giveaways at the table because those have always been popular. That was something that Buttons started when she was doing the table. And people always loved that, so I think that would be fun to get back into doing. We've got a hotel room for Twin Cities Con. We're just going to have 1 room, 2 nights. It's not expensive, so that's down a little bit. Colossal Con needs a little explanation. You might see that that's marked as 0. So we are sharing a room this year with KitsuneCon at Colossal. And when I talked to them about what our share of the room is, they said that they preferred to cover the whole room and then put that money that would be our share toward paying off the radios that they purchased from us a couple of years ago that they haven't paid off yet. So I will get some totals from them still on that I can give to you guys. But that was what they had requested to do. So if that's good with the board, then I want that to just sit at that 0 and we won't send them money just for them to send money back to us. Then the rest of these are just kind of the costs of some of the tables that we had last year that we're going to do again. So the Oban and Twin Cities Pride, we want to look into St. Cloud Pride this year. It was a little short notice for me to look into this current year, but I think I would like to see if we can get a team up there.
And I think it was the same date as something else we were doing.
Yeah, there was
already.
something where it was short notice. It overlapped with something. I couldn't make it work this year, but I'd like to see if we can make that work for next year. I think it would be fun. Be a good place for us to get our name out and get out into the community there too. Some expenses for Otaku Fest 2, as I labeled it. As part of being able to have those half price cover charges, we did cover some of the expenses for Otaku Fest. It was less than $1,000. I'm just throwing in like a max cap of what we would kick in toward it, but hopefully it'll be less than that. And then some other events, TBD, that we would like to try to put on for our attendees that would be cool things for them to come do with us, which have not been planned out yet, but we've got some brainstorming channels and stuff. We'll try to come up with some cool stuff for our attendees. And then added on to the printing budget because printing costs a lot of money, it turns out. And same on the business cards because I looked at the cost of our business cards. And business cards also cost a lot of money, it turns out. So that's kind of where the budget sits for me here. So I think it's pretty similar to what was requested for last year before I took the job. One more tab over. Yeah, it's not too far off.
Yeah, last year was 11,260 and this year's 11,040. So we're a little bit lower. So
You're
I think
under.
that's fine.
Yeah, but also that doesn't include anything for Colossal Con Hotel.
That does help a lot. It does. Because that one's expensive.
Yes.
Yes, Bruce, what is your question?
We can talk a little bit more once meeting's over, but I may have a way to help cut your printing costs down.
Well, a lot of it is needing a quick turnaround, so it's at the Office Depot down the street because I can submit a print order and pick it up within an hour.
Mhm.
Understandable. But
Yeah,
if you
and
have
it's like
I know there's
the,
cheaper options, but sometimes I need the really fast option.
Well, no,
And
not
then like the
necessarily.
flyers change every time we have a new guest announcement. So we have to do small batches. We can't just print 1,000,000 of them at the beginning of the
No,
season.
no, no. I understand that. It's making an offer because my other event, we have a full-on print shop and we can do full-on banners and everything. And we will not charge a ton. So
Might be interested in that for some other things. So we
So.
can talk about that later and see if maybe there's some other stuff we could use that for. Like for our flyers and stuff, we'll have to stick with the
Okay.
Office Depot down the street.
Okay, that's fine. I was just making the offer of that because we do offer that, and it drastically saves a lot of money. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for the special events budget?
Lori had her hand up.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna possibly even suggest putting a little bit more into the table supplies and artist giveaway, because I know we had talked about getting some badge ribbons as well as covering some filament for the people who've been 3D printing the Plinko prizes.
That's a good
So
idea.
Mhm.
maybe that should
I
be a
mean,
little
that
higher.
could probably come out of like the flex budget, but I mean, I guess we could.
Okay.
Yeah, it
I
could
would
be in the
realize
flex
that the work
budget.
would come from Flex.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just thinking, we don't want to take away from another potential event then because we plan to put it in flex. So maybe, I don't know. That's just my thought, is maybe to bump up table supplies and artist giveaway a little bit. But if I'm overruled, I'm overruled. I was just going to suggest it.
I'm okay with either option myself. You guys are the board. You get to decide.
Yes, Bruce.
I don't see a problem bumping that up to 1,000 to account for that.
Yeah, 1,000's probably even more than we need, and then we've got enough to.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't hit like, so here's the, like, let's see, where is I think this is up to date. We only spent 8,000 of the 11,000 we approved last year, so it's just like
I have been trying to keep that as up to date as
Yeah.
I can. Yeah.
it might be. It's close, yeah. So
Yeah,
so
and that
we should be fine.
But if you can
that
also
can.
go ahead.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say that can also cover it too if we end up getting swamped at an event and having to DoorDash Haichu.
Yeah.
I did do that. That's true.
Did you submit your invoice?
I don't care.
You don't care. Okay.
But another possibility too is you could even look with artist giveaway stuff. Could even look at getting something commissioned too, to do something that's a little bit more special.
Oh, sure. With the higher budget. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna pretend that this was $1,000. And it's beautiful. So let us go ahead and vote to if we want to approve the 2026 Anime Twin Cities special events budget. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. And all in favor. Beautiful.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Then, where's my agenda? There it is. Okay. Then the next item I wanted to talk about on special events, I believe I've sent you this information, Allie. But we did get an email from Illuminate, which is in Maplewood, and it's like at the Maplewood Mall, but it's a new thing called the Pan Asian Center. I assume it's similar to Asian Mall in Eden Prairie, which I'm
Yeah.
familiar with. So they're kind of asking like if we want to like have a table there, which they are charging, I think. It depends.
Yeah, I was confused by the pricing a little bit
Yeah,
myself when I was
some
reading
weird
that.
pricing. Yeah. So and I'm just like, this is very different from anything that we've really done before, in my opinion. It's not a library, it's not, another nonprofit like JASM, it's not a convention. This is at a mall. It is a retail space So like I'm not like against it, but I just kind of wanted to get everybody's thoughts. And obviously I think it's kind of up to Allie if we actually want to do it for sure or not, because this would technically be under special events, but I still think as a board we should talk about it, especially since they emailed us and we need to reply back to them.
And I would love to hear what everyone else's thoughts are on it too,
Yeah.
because like I'm on the fence with it myself, for a lot of the reasons that Christina mentioned there, that it is very different from anything we've done. I'm not familiar with the event in general. Yeah, it's
What email did this get sent to? Was it just
We got a couple emails from them. I think the last one was it doesn't so it just was to the board, ATC board. But I think the original request might have come through the website and then they forwarded it, someone forwarded it to us. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
the initial request actually came in through Facebook Messenger, and then I told
That's
them
right.
to email the board, and then that's where that larger email came from.
got it?
Yep.
I just need to find it. I get so many emails that I lose track of them. What's the date on it?
Saturday, October 11th. Showcase your
There it
business
is.
and or
I found
organization.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have these nice like flyers because like so I think this is a new experience that's opening at Maplewood. I think is what this is
Right.
telling
The
me. And
location I don't think is opened just yet.
yeah. And then their pop culture and anime, they're doing 2 weekends of it, like the 5th through the 7th and the 12th through the 14th of December. So like I don't think we'd want to do 2. We'd probably just pick one.
Right.
If we want to do it at all. I cannot help the 5th through the 7th if that matters. Um,
So it looks like the banner itself is free, an 8x10
yeah.
organization information. So I don't see any issue with submitting that. And then Allie can discuss. Um, I was going to sneeze. Sorry. Allie can discuss if there's anything else potentially that they want to go in on, but I don't see any issue with us putting out our name and information, at least over the pop culture anime weekend for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it might be a tough time to try to find too much of a team to go to, but I can put it out into the special events Discord and see if we have any people who would be interested in and available to do one or the other weekend, and just do a quick, interest check on it before we reply back, which we probably want to get back to them fairly soon.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, my cat.
Yeah, and this is okay, so this is something that they're charging admission to. So I guess it is kind of like a convention, a little bit, not really, but uh, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. So it sounds like no one's really 100% against it. It's just a matter of if we can, do we want to? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and put an interest check into the special events Discord and see if we have
Mhm.
people who want to go for it.
Oh, okay. So if we give them our own stand, it's free. If we want to get added to their logo, it costs money. If we want to have our own that they print for us, it costs more money.
That makes more
And like
sense.
there's
Yeah.
promotional booth
But
versus
it's like
interactive booth.
how much would it cost for us to make an 8x10 stand? A lot, probably.
Remember, I can help with that.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what we do actually have. We got that replacement backdrop. It doesn't have like a ton
Yeah,
of
but it doesn't have any information
Here's the
on it.
thing.
I guess we could like tape some QR codes to it. Now I want to have that be a backdrop. We have a QR code on it. And then we make a derpy tiger standee cutout for people to put their faces in and take their picture with. This just hit me. It's very silly. Anyway, okay, so moving on. That's that topic. I don't think we need to talk about it anymore right now. Sound good?
I think we actually need a derpy demon kitty standee.
That would be difficult.
Aw.
So, Allie, do you have anything else you want to talk about for special events?
Just that we are still looking for people to join in on the team. I can actually I'll find the link to the application form and throw it into the YouTube chat in a moment here. If you're interested in joining up, you can fill that out. If you haven't worked with special events before, if I haven't worked with you too much before, there might be a little interview process to see if you're going to be a good fit for it or not, because it's not the job for everyone. But if you are interested, it never hurts to ask and see if maybe you'll be a good fit for it. That's it.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Then the next thing on the agenda is a 15-minute break, but we can vote to skip that.
Before that, Jeanette, you have your hand up.
Yes. Oh,
Sorry, I think it's left up from the vote.
Oh, okay.
oh, okay. All in favor of skipping the break? There's the button. There it is. Okay, beautiful. We're skipping the break. All right. Now we are on to our official Anime Twin Cities budget. I don't know why I stopped sharing my screen. I forgot I still had to share that. Okay. So, our budget this year was very easy. I made it the same as last year, minus the bylaws rewrite, since we don't need to do that again. I cannot think of anything else that we would need to spend money on this year. So does anyone have any discussion?
Not necessarily discussion, but do we have to do? Because then we have like that copyright or trademark renewal. Is that in every year? Or is that only every so many years?
Oh, that's right.
I believe it's only every once in a while. Like
Okay.
it's not every year.
Okay. That's the
Um,
only. That's the only thing I could think of was that one.
yes, Hope.
But that copyright update with our logo change, was our logo copyrighted? And if it was that
No,
going to be updated?
it's just the name.
Okay.
Yep. I looked at it when we were doing it, and it was like that doesn't matter. I'm like, okay. um. Okay. No other questions on our budget. Okay. So, let's go ahead and vote for if we would like to pass our budget this year. I think we would. Can I please get a second? Beautiful. And all in favor? Beautiful. Okay. Thank you very much. And that budget is passed. Huzzah. Um, then the last thing on the agenda is an open session. So if anyone in the audience has a question, feel free to put it in the chat and we can address that now. While we are waiting to see if anyone has any questions, our future meeting discussions is still getting policies updated and figuring out a board training policy. As we said, we had, what was it, 6 different events since the last meeting, so we've just been doing a lot. Maybe it'll calm down in the winter. Maybe.
Usually does.
Yeah,
around
I think it usually does, like
mid-
January,
Yeah.
January, February. Not October, November though. No, those are busy.
It sort of chills out in December,
Yeah,
holidays and all that jazz.
that's fair. I have 2 conventions in December. They're not related. They're my fun conventions. They're not
There you
detour conventions, but okay. I am not seeing any questions. How much longer should I wait?
How many people are in chat watching?
11. But I mean, at
16
least,
views altogether.
yeah, at least 3 of us are board members. So
That's true. I'd
Yeah.
give it at least another couple minutes just to be safe.
wonderful. Ding, 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 ding. I had Indian for dinner tonight. It was delicious. What did you have?
I have ramen and tteokbokki that I started eating before the meeting, and then the meeting started, so I will finish after.
Nice.
All my danger noodles ate today, which is fabulous because one of them had been on his winter hunger strike for a few
Uh-oh.
weeks.
Mhm.
So
And so far, I'm not saying anything in chat.
I'm not seeing anything either.
All right, I filled in the approved column on the special events budget. That means it's official now.
Oh, are we showing off the cats?
Yeah,
I can do that too. Oh.
go get one.
Where's mine? Kitty,
I can't
where are
even
you?
hear you, Kitty. Oh,
Mine is following my mouse on the screens, and she's very interested. It's highly amusing. I think that's given enough time to call it
Yeah.
if there's anything.
Mhm. All right. It is 7:37 p.m. I vote to call the meeting adjourned.
I will
Can I
second.
get a second? Beautiful. All in favor? Beautiful. All right. I will see everyone next month. Goodbye.
Bye.